I think the last thing that Andy Ruiz needs, just from a good omen perspective, right, is Eddie Hearn saying that he'll beat Deontay Wilder. Because Eddie Hearn is wishful thinking a lot these days. He suggested initially when the fight was made that Robert Helenius would beat Deontay Wilder. And of course, he wants this to happen so that the victory that the guy that he works with, Dylan White, had over Helenius looks better. The Derek Chisora, of course, fought Helenius back in the days. So if Helenius had gone in there and beat Wilder, it makes Eddie Hearn's heavyweights look better, right? And with Andy Ruiz, it's a similar situation. Not that Ruiz has ever been an Eddie Hearn heavyweight, but he beat Eddie Hearn's heavyweight in Anthony Joshua. So if Ruiz goes in there and beats Wilder, again, it's in a roundabout way in the minds of many people going to make Anthony Joshua look better because of the fact that, he managed to avenge the Ruiz defeat and all that kind of thing. So, yeah, I think that the wishful thinking from Eddie Hearn is the last thing that Andy Ruiz needs to hear. And if you're like a superstitious kind of person, you might be placing a lot of money on Deontay Wilder just because of the fact that Eddie Hearn has come out and said this. It's kind of like David Haye. His prediction record when it comes to Tyson Fury fights and many other fights is pretty awful. And therefore, there's this whole, if you want to call it a meme now, where as soon as David Haye comes out with a prediction, everyone in the comments is saying they're picking the exact opposite. It's like a surefire way of getting a prediction right is just doing the opposite, betting the opposite way to what David Haye is betting. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Wilder Ruiz and this potential bad omen of Eddie Hearn picking Ruiz to win. I did a recent video about the fight where I said that I'm not necessarily picking Ruiz to win. I'll give my prediction closer to the contest, but I'm not necessarily convinced that it's as straightforward as a lot of people seem to think it is. And I went into detail on that in that video because, again, people talk about this incredible power Wilder has, and he is a tremendous puncher. But Tyson Fury's been decked quite a few times. I mean, yeah, he got decked 4 times by Wilder, but he was also decked by Steve Cunningham, who wasn't a big puncher, and Nevin Pajkic, who was even less of a puncher. So if Fury is able to recover from Deontay Wilder's shots, get off the canvas, why are people assuming that Andy Ruiz can't? Why are people assuming that the kind of shots that decked Fury would necessarily deck Ruiz? Because when Ruiz is at full strength, he can take a good shot and he can recover quick as well. We saw that in the Anthony Joshua fight. Big uppercut and left hook floored him, yes, but he got straight back up and he decked Anthony Joshua within seconds. I mean, that is some fast recovery. Not just getting up to survive the round, but getting up and within seconds decking the other guy. Would Andy Ruiz have gone down from that right hand off Cunningham or Pajkic? Personally, I don't think so. I think that Andy Ruiz actually has a better chin than Tyson Fury. And perhaps we haven't seen him, decked as many times as Fury's been decked, but perhaps he's even got equally good powers of recovery. So, yeah, this idea that Wilder's just going to go in there and land one right hand and the fight's going to be over. Look, he is a tremendous puncher, and if he catches Andy Ruiz right, maybe that could happen. But it's not likely in my head that it will be that straightforward. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Andy Ruiz actually take some of those right hands by Deontay Wilder and walk through a few. It's not like every single person that Wilder has fought has succumbed to the right hand, and hit the deck the first time they got hit. So Johan Duopa, obviously going back a number of years now, Johan Duopa never hit the deck against Deontay Wilder. In fact, Berman Stavern in the first fight never hit the deck, at least not officially. There was an incident in the fight which I think wasn't called a knockdown, but should have been called a knockdown. But other than that, Berman Stavern managed to go the distance. So there are guys out there that are tough enough to take Wilder's right hand and go deep into a fight. So yeah, I'll leave that on the table. Let me know what you guys think.